All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. We're going live here from the KFVS Digital News Desk. Sydney Waters here with us today. Sydney, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fine. And Sydney is the regional director for the Better Business Bureau here, covering Eastern, Southwest, and Southern Illinois, as I was just reading before the
Yeah,
show.
quite a large territory.
Yeah, you're covering all those bases. Quite a few bases there to cover.
Yes.
But today we're talking about, as everybody's going back to school, making sure that your student is ready for it in a lot of ways. When it comes to if they need a little help in different areas, hiring a tutor. How do you have those best practices for that sort of thing? And one of the main things I think, as well as you all note, is that it's important to understand what your kid is needing, what they're after, what really needs to be taken care of with a tutorship, I guess that's the word.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one of BBB's top tips for getting a tutor is really establishing those guidelines from the beginning. What kind of tutor are you looking for? Are you looking for a homework help tutor? Are you looking for a test prep tutor? Are you looking for someone all year or just a short duration of time? And then also you want to find a tutor that not only is familiar with the subject that you're working with, but
Yeah.
also familiar with working with students your child's age as
Sure.
well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And as somebody, I'm sure with your line of work in communications and connecting with people, that's always that kind of network thing that matters, and that certainly applies here too with parents and friends of parents and all that when it comes to utilizing your own community, your own network, and asking around and seeing who knows a good tutor, that sort of thing, right?
Absolutely. And like you said, utilizing your network is a key tip. Ask friends, ask family members, ask parents that have students in those classes that your student is struggling in. Perhaps they're already working with a tutor that does great things for them. And then go to your school. Many times schools have tutoring agencies or tutors that they're working with directly already, and so they'll be really familiar with that curriculum.
As always, yeah, if their school offers that opportunity,
Yes.
taking up that as a chance to get the right tutor for you. Yeah, and different opportunities for doing research that the BBB offers, as far as of course, having that seal of approval, having that verification level, right, to making sure they're good to go.
Yes, and that's something many people don't think about looking at bbb.org to verify a tutor.
Sure.
But you can. You can go to bbb.org. We have business profiles, and you can look at that tutoring services reviews, their rating, see how they dealt with customers, and that's a great resource. Another thing on doing your homework with tutors is if they have references listed, definitely call those
Sure.
references. See how their experience was with that tutor firsthand.
All right, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and of course, again, that always comes down to making sure you're clear on the details, not only with what your student needs, but also the different things what the tutor's going to be able to do as far as the availability and that sort of thing, right?
Yes, establishing that up front would be
Yeah.
great. I mean, then there's no confusion, the duration you'll need the tutor, how you'll pay them, the frequency
Sure.
of paying, all of those things just clear and upfront. That'll save you grief in the long run.
Yeah, and this may not be something people think of automatically, but having your child involved in that process, making sure they connect to your student, right? That's an idea as well to keep them in the loop on all these things.
That's a great tip. Involving your child, the more comfortable they feel with the tutor, the easier it's going to be for them to
Sure.
learn. So not only involve them in that hiring process, but after the lessons, check back with your student and then also the tutor and just see the progress. See if they're going to need to be around for longer, how those lessons are going. If you need to mix it up, just be really involved with that tutoring process.
Sure, sure. All right. And of course, bbb.org is where you got to go to get all of the tips that you need as far as, all that we've discussed today, right? With checking out tutors and any business, right?
Yep, check us
Yeah.
out, bbb.org, and get a tutor today.
All right. Sydney Waters with the Better Business Bureau. Thank you so much for being here today. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right. To our audience as well, appreciate you all being here, spending your time here with us. We're going to turn it back over to Local News Live. Stick around. We've got more coming up just around the corner.